This episode of Krazy Ken's Tech Misadventures is sponsored by Linode. I'm losing it, guys. I just named it 24. What's the name of your partition? 24! Let's boot her up and hope this sucker works. Ladies and gentlemen, I am a patient man. Well, I was. Since we still seem to be a bit stuck, how about we call the man, the myth, the legend himself? Let's give him a jingle.
Hello?
Hey Colin, how's it going? Hey guys, how are you all doing? Really? That's just great. You know, I was doing pretty great until a little something came up. So I thought, hey, today is the perfect day, kind of, to test out dosdude's new Catalina patcher. Since there's no way in hell that I'm installing Catalina on my daily driver right now, I thought I'd experiment and try out one of his patchers because it lets you run Catalina on an unsupported Mac. And then I thought, wait a minute, all of my Macs are too old to support the patcher, or they're too new to require the patcher. So it's like, why? Even my experimental Mac Mini that I normally use on the show is too new to require the patcher. So I went back to an old buddy of mine that I loaned a computer to, and I had to get this computer back from him. Ladies and gentlemen, it's the older Mac Mini, yes. The old design. So then I was like, you know what? Let's make this even better. Let's use the new cinema display that I never got around to using from the G5 episode because the G5 exploded on me. Whoa. Whoa! And then I realized moments before communicating with you that this Mac Mini was made during an era where Apple decided to change the video interface every 5 minutes for fun. There's no DVI on this thing. It's mini DVI and I don't have an adapter for it, which means we cannot use this freaking awesome display which has a built-in stand unlike Apple's new displays. So, sayonara, unfortunately, we are stuck with this guy. Definitely not as pretty, but it'll get the job done. So, I will get back to you and to you momentarily. And you go take a vacation, go get a cup of coffee. Sit on the floor. We'll do that in a moment. But first, we need to log on to the information superhighway, visit dosdude's website, download the patcher, download Apple's official installer, and do all of that magical stuff. And then we need to put the installer onto an external device so I can transfer it to the Mac Mini. I think that's possible. I need to get a hard drive for that too, so there's lots to do. Come on, let's get started. Right, so let's head over to dosdude1.com. Let's take a look. My software. And there it is, macOS Catalina patcher. We can download that right there. And dosdude does a lot of good shit for free. So how about smashing the donate button, all right? But first, you must smell your tomato. Just kidding. We're gonna download the latest version and I'll get back to you once it's ready. Okay, here we are, macOS Catalina patcher. Now, ahead of time, because I knew I was gonna be getting into this mess, I downloaded the Install macOS Catalina app. Keep in mind, you will need this official installer from Apple. And yes, before we continue, oh man, I need an external device to put the installer onto, don't I? I hope it works that way. Let me get a disk. Okay, so I busted out the old disk we used in the Premiere video, like forever ago. Monitor going to sleep. Oh, hell no, man. What the shit is wrong with this thing? Input. Hopefully it's just on the wrong input. It would be nice if it told me what input it was switching to. But no, just keep it a mystery. Monitor going to sleep, what do you mean? It's plugged in, come on. I got the dongle and everything, come on, dude. It can't just be simple. That's not how we do things around here. No, siree. Krazy Ken curse, you already struck. We're hardly even into this experiment. Maybe the cable is shitty? I don't know. What the hell? Dude. Yeah, we might need a different monitor. Let me go dig through the storage. So, I got our other friend here, the Asus monitor, which could really use some, oh my gosh, some dusting. Holy cow. There's a shit ton of dust on here. Has it been that long since I've used that thing? Get you the heck out of here. Let's try this Asus one. Ooh, you need to shed a few pounds there, buddy. Okay. My favorite thing about many PC monitors, I'm glad Apple doesn't do this, is that the ports are vertical, so you get to look around and shove the cord up the computer's butt. Or I like the Apple monitors where they go right in the back, so much easier. Some people say, oh, well, this method is nicer on the cables. Well, I've been using the Apple method forever, and none of my cables ever broke, so eat me. Maybe don't do that. Button. Hey, there we go. Okay, so I guess that monitor was just being weird. Wow, it looks like we have Snow Leopard, maybe, running on here? Yeah, Snow Leopard with a custom dock theme. It's not the regular dock, so I must have skinned this at one time before I loaned it off. I wonder if it was ever even used because it kind of looks exactly like how I remember it was before I gave it off to whoever. Oh man, oh man, oh man. Lightning Link. This was a web browser that I made years ago. I was teaching myself Objective-C, so it was just a little thing I did. Wow, there's some ancient stuff on here. Yeah, so we can get back to the Mac Mini later, but for now, let's just shut her down, switch this over. There's my squirrel. This volume cannot be resized, but why? Seriously? It's been one of those days. Why can't this be resized? Is it because it's exFAT? All right, well, I have another disk. We can try. The Finder is using it. Well, what? Just stop using it, Finder. Just eject. I did it for you. I have its twin. It may look exactly the same, but it's completely different. This, I believe, I turned into an El Capitan bootable disk, and we could hopefully just repartition that. Done. Okay. That should be that. So now the fun part. The moment we've mostly been waiting for. I'm sorry that everything was all scrambly and took forever to get this far, but now we're going to actually launch the patcher. And it should, hey, there it is in the background. Yeah, that looks mostly Apple-y right there. That looks pretty darn Apple-y. Contributions. Well, thank you, Parrot Geek and a sentient bot. Okay, so macOS installer app. You can download it right from within here. That is really convenient. Anyway, we can even create an ISO. Look at that. It just... Dang it, Colin, you're amazing. So we could put it on this machine, but that's not needed. Create a bootable installer. So select the volume you'd like to use as your installer. Installer. See? Pretty clever. That's why I named it that, right? Yeah, you guys are smart enough. You know what I'm doing. Warning, all contents of the disk installer will be erased, which we also already did ahead of time because we over-prepare on this show. Would you like to do it? C. So it's patching base system DMG, which is real good because you don't want that to be unpatched. Okay, so now it's doing the thing, create bootable installer. So then, you probably have already picked up on this pretty simple plan here. We're gonna get everything imaged onto that disk, then we're gonna plug the disk into the Mac Mini, boot off of the disk, and install Catalina on this Mac Mini. This Mac Mini is, I think, 3 years older than the minimum Mac Mini model supported by Catalina. But we're gonna see how dosdude's patcher handles this old system. Hopefully it works. Let me just zoom in on this for you there. Take a look at that. Patching and copying the electronic software distribution. DMG, that's good. Okay, created successfully. All right, well then we'll just quit. That was pretty straightforward. This was easier than hooking up the frickin' monitor. I don't know why that HP one wasn't working. That makes no frickin' sense. Come on, eject. Oh. Did I not eject them all? I probably didn't eject them all. There we go. Okay, so MacBook Pro, we are done with you. You can go sit over there. Now the fun part. Ooh, it's all warm. Hey, get up here. Cable was trying to run away on me. You're not done yet. It is, though, nice and toasty right here now. Oh, yeah. Just think, if it was a first-generation MacBook Pro, this wood might be on fire. Have you ever put one of those on your lap before? Say goodbye to your thighs. Holy shit. Okay. All right, like I said, fun part. We're gonna plug this guy in. Short ass cable. And we're gonna see if we can boot off of it and install Catalina on this really, USB is going in the wrong way, really old Mac Mini. That's gonna be fun. Okay. Okay, power up. And option key. Oh, I was gonna like mouth the bong noise, but no, I guess it's muted now. Whatevs. I didn't want to do it anyway. It's tacky. Sweet. That is impressive. We even have the icon there. EFI boot. Hell yeah. Bam. We got an Apple. All right, so far no errors. This is great. I didn't read all the volume labels, but was there a Windows volume? Because I think at one time we did have a Windows system on here. In fact, it might still be on here. Is the progress bar supposed to be not moving? Maybe we just ignore it. Uh-oh. It's not making sound anymore. Crap. This doesn't have the latest boot ROM. I just realized this patcher, to boot into the installer will require a newer boot ROM. Crap on a stick. Okay, I gotta hit up his website and check that. Whoa, something just made like a snapping sound when I was picking up my computer. Did I just like break something inside here? Frickin' hope not. This is my daily driver. Click. Let's go back into Snow Leopard. That is, I'd have to say that is still my favorite wallpaper from Apple. Okay, let's open this baby. I say baby too much, I'm sorry, I shouldn't say that. Unarchiving. Let's open this bad boy. That's something I've said before, right? Bad boy, does that sound better than baby? Bad boy. Close. Is that it? No reboot or any of that shit? Really? Okay. Well, that was installed. That's what the instructions said to do. That almost seems like it was easy. Too easy. But maybe that's all there is to it. All right. Take two. Let's reboot this thing. Okay, EFI boot. We got a progress bar now. Check it out. Look at that. It worked. All the things you can do when you read instructions. At least the progress bar is moving. That makes me so happy. Oh, gray screen. With a mouse cursor. That's way further than we got last time. Ooh, black screen. We just turned on dark mode. Hands free. Oh, come on, don't fail, man. We made it this far. Oh, good, it faded to something. I was losing hope a little bit. It might actually work. This shit might do something. Yeah, just a disclaimer, and you probably already know this, the patcher probably normally isn't this slow. Again, external mechanical USB 2.0 disk. Here we go, language. Shall we challenge ourselves and use something different? Of course not. We don't like change. Okay, so we need to do the install and then macOS post-install. If I remember the instructions, I briefly breezed through quickly. Check it out, Catalina. This is working. I've read the license. Yes, macOS 10. Huh. It might be able to upgrade from Snow Leopard to Catalina and not erase anything. Not that there's probably much on here anyway. Probably just like really old versions of software. Not many personal files. The Windows drive probably has more on it than anything. Okay, shit, it's going. All right, so this is just judging by how long it took to boot up into the installer with this older, slower system and the USB mechanical disk, it's probably gonna take, if I had to guess, an hour to an hour and a half to install. Well, I kind of have a life. Yeah, sorta. So I'm gonna go and continue living it while it does this, but I will come back. It says about 12 minutes remaining, but that is probably a huge lie. 11 minutes now. Oh, that's impressive. So Oh, back to 12. Okay, well, you make up your mind there. Oh, back to 11. Okay, in or out, you know. Come on, kids, I'm not heating the whole universe here. Yeah, so I'll come back to this in a bit. We'll see how far along it's gotten because we don't want to wait here the whole time. All right, sounds good. Okay, if you want to watch it, go ahead. Just take a look. Yeah, keep an eye on it. I'll be over here if you need me. Did something happen yet? No? All right. Okay, so we just rebooted. There's the apple. Let's see what's next. So this is typically the phase that takes a lot longer after the reboot, but normally there's a estimated time thing that pops up, but that may not be happening, or it's gonna happen really slowly. Okay, this is not good. It's been a long time, well, sort of. Progress bar is not moved, and none of the hard drives are making any noise. Great. Okay, I'll figure this out. Back in a bit, hopefully. Okay, so I did a hard shutdown, thinking, well, I'll just go back into Snow Leopard and try this some other way, perhaps. But oops, that partition is now labeled macOS installer, so I'm guessing I can't boot into that anymore. Well, I rebooted it. Let's see if we can just get that to work. Nervous grin. Hang on, I'm an idiot. I installed the boot ROM update for APFS, but I forgot to format the install destination as APFS. Yep. That is why it is not working. At least I'm 99% sure. Yeah, I'm sorry for the people that were watching and were like, no, you idiot, you forgot the thing, and you probably already commented before you noticed I found my own error. That's okay, that happens all the time on this show. I'm learning, you know. We're all learning together. Okay, so here's the installer, which we're booted off of. This is the destination disk, which is HFS Plus, or macOS Extended Journaled. So if we go to edit, we should be able to convert to APFS as blurred out, or grayed out. Interesting. Okay, so I guess we do have to format this. Okay, I'm gonna hop in the terminal quick, browse the file system, make sure there's I haven't had this computer in my possession for years, but I wanna make sure there's no mission critical shit left on here. I doubt there is, but it's best to be safe. You can totally tell how old this system is by the applications in the apps folder. We can just erase this sucker now and call it Catalina and choose APFS and be like, boom, erase, and it should work, right? Let's show details, and it says unmounting disk, and everything should be fine, right? Please? Yes, check mark. That means good. We're gonna quit out of there. Okay, it's APFS now. Everything's happy. Let's go to reinstall, and it will have to go back through this part again before it reboots and goes to the next phase. So that's probably gonna take about 15 minutes, then it will reboot, yada-da-da-da-da-da. We all kind of get that by now. But yeah, okay, let's take two. Hopefully this one works. Whoa, okay, now that's what I wanted to see. This is dosdude's implementation of an APFS environment, so this thing can actually work because this machine doesn't natively support booting from APFS. Those numbers and shit make me happy because it means it's actually working. We didn't see that last time because the partition was HFS Plus journaled, so Okay, so now it's moving into the next phase, which is good, but yeah, it's probably gonna be a little bit slow. It should switch to dark mode, right? Dark mode soon, just taking its time, because mechanical. That'll be cool. Crapola. It's stuck again! The hard drive is making no sound and the progress bar is not moving. All right, I'm gonna have to read up on this. Or maybe it's just going really, really, really slow. Crap, I thought we fixed everything. Back to the manual. And by manual, I mean maybe a tutorial video. I'm gonna do some research, maybe contact some smart people I know who can help me out. And if it's just for some reason, I don't know, maybe I need to redo the whole process over. Maybe I need to make a different bootable device and I have to use something different than this Apricon disk. Maybe it's just straight up not working because it sucks. I really don't know. It should work on this Mac Mini though. I'll have to pick this up tomorrow. In the meantime, good night, Mac Mini. Rest well. Hard shutdown. Okay, it has been a full day, and I was talking with some people from the Maciac crew, and Greg reminded me of something kind of important. But first, before I discuss that, let me at least turn on the Mac Mini. Okay, I have the Mac Mini running in FireWire target disk mode. And essentially what I'm gonna do is mount the Mac Mini's internal drive to my computer, kind of like it's an external drive. With our conversion technology, we are converting FireWire 800 to Thunderbolt. What we're gonna do with this, well, first of all, let's talk about what some of the Maciac guys reminded me. I was talking to Greg the most, and he said, mechanical hard disks don't always get along with APFS, and I was like, of course, that's right. So maybe one of my previous blunders caused some data to get partially installed, and now it's interfering with the rest of the installation, and it just straight up won't work. So what we're gonna do is, we're just gonna completely format the drive, not the whole physical drive, because I do have a Windows XP partition on here with some old software, which I'd like to keep. We're just gonna focus on the one partition. The other thing that was suggested was to put the installer on the Mac Mini. So right now I have the Apricorn disk, the external disk, acting as the installer. But another suggestion was to split the Mac Mini's hard drive, put the installer on one partition, and then put the install destination on another. But if I do that, it will break the Windows XP drive in terms of its bootability. It will not be able to boot up anymore. Ah, shiitake mushrooms. I think I just have to erase the container, right? Erase the container, disk 4, erasing container will delete all data stored in it and cannot be undone, provide a name. Yeah, I think if we just erase that, APFS, start fresh. Yeah, it failed already, nice. An internal state error occurred. Okay. Oh, it sounds like a political issue. Yeah, I'll just try to erase it by booting off that Apricorn disk again. So much for target disk mode, guess we didn't need that. So, let's just nuke this thing and start over. Let's see if this works. Okay, so let's try this idea. Install, it's gonna do its thing for like 15 minutes or whatever. Reboot, and then that's normally where we get stuck when it starts the second part. So hopefully that doesn't happen this time. All right, fingers crossed, 2 fingers crossed, 4 fingers crossed, every part of the body crossed. You know, I'm still amazed that people like dosdude figure out how to make this stuff. Developers are smart people, man. Speaking of developers, you know, since we have to wait for this to install, I thought I'd talk about something fun. Linode! Hey, Linode provides virtual servers that make it easy and affordable to host your own app, site, service, or whatever the heck you want in the cloud. Whether you're a Linux junkie, not like me, or just want to tinker with code, you can use Linode for either of those. It's a do-it-yourself solution if you like to get into the nitty-gritty of hosting your own professional service. But if you want easy, which pretty much I would do, there's plenty of one-click apps to deploy WordPress, a personal VPN, heck, even Minecraft. We used to play Minecraft on this channel way back when. If you've ever started with those entry-level hosting services that only allowed pre-configured setups, which, by the way, are lame, Linode is your step up from that stuff, guys. It's fast, all-in-one, and easy to configure cloud computing. So whether you're hosting your own website, an app, a coding project, or you just need a place to keep something cool live on the internet, Linode is here for you. Oh, and because you're here, and because we're all best friends, I'm going to give you $20 free on your new account. Just use my code CompClan20. Or if you don't like typing in codes, click the link in the description. You'll be glad you did. All right, let's check the installation. Wow, that was perfect timing. I got back right when the system rebooted. That was lucky. Okay, so this is normally where we get stuck. But yeah, normally the progress bar moves a little bit and then it just completely hangs. And the hard drives stop making noise too, so. All right, well, let's see if this does anything. Yeah, the drives aren't even spinning. Or, I mean, they're spinning, but they're not clicking. Nothing's happening. Okay, so I still have a few tricks up my sleeve. Right now, the Mac Mini is in target disk mode, and I'm using my MacBook Pro to do a couple things. I created, earlier I was saying partition, but I guess they're really volumes because we're working with an APFS container. I'm creating a volume for the destination install and a volume for the installer itself. I just partitioned that through target disk mode, and now dosdude's patcher is patching and copying the ESD to one of the internal volumes before we go into the installation and then run that again. Maybe that'll work. But in the meantime, while that's running, oh, it just finished. Okay, well, quit then, I guess. That was quick. All right, but in the meantime, since we still seem to be a bit stuck, how about we call the man, the myth, the legend himself? Let's give him a jingle. I don't know where to put this.
Hello?
Hey, Colin, how's it going?
Hey, how's it going?
Good. I just figured this would be faster than texting if you're okay with that.
Oh, yeah, that's fine. Yeah,
Oh.
just let me know what's wrong. And,
Yeah, so I followed your tutorial, and I'm trying to put it on a 2009 Mac Mini. I put the installer on an external hard drive like you recommended, and
Yep.
I also installed the boot ROM update because APFS support. And
So wait, this is, which boot ROM update, like APFS ROM patcher or the official one?
I believe it was the official one. Let me...
Okay, well that one doesn't, that machine doesn't need that, so you don't need to worry about that.
Okay. All right, well, I guess I didn't need to do that.
Alright, yeah, it doesn't hurt anything though, so.
Gotcha. So then, let's see, I'm trying to recall everything I did last night. So I plug in the external hard drive, boot off of it, and all those steps go fine. Yeah, it says like 15 minutes remaining, and then it reboots. And then, all the text flies by, and then it shows the gray apple on the white screen. The progress bar moves a little bit, and then it stops. And then, like, there's no more clicking on the hard drives or anything. It kind of just hangs there.
How long did you let it sit there? Because sometimes that takes a while to boot.
Oh, I mean, I let it was like maybe 10 minutes. Should I let it sit for longer?
Oh. No, that shouldn't take more than that.
Okay.
It just sounds like it's failing to boot the installer for whatever reason.
Yeah.
Well, one thing, are you doing a clean install or are you trying to upgrade from another OS X version?
It is a clean install.
Okay. Well, I'd say just try it again. Make sure, this shouldn't be an issue, but just make sure the date and time is set right on the Mac Mini before you do it. And hopefully that should work. I can't see any reason why not. Just make sure when you erase the drive, you click View, Show All Devices, and Disk Utility, and then you click on the root disk, click Erase, and then set APFS and GUID, and then that should work.
Yeah.
That should wipe everything off and just start it over from scratch.
Right. Yeah. There was I was also talking to Greg, and he suggested maybe putting like 2 volumes on the Mac Mini's internal disk. One volume would act as the installer, and one volume would act as the install.
You can do that too. That should also work.
Okay, I'll try that.
It should work just fine from the USB.
Yeah.
What I'd say to do first is just try it from the external hard drive again, and then, like I said, do the View, Show All Devices, click on the root device, and erase from that. And that should just wipe everything, including the EFI partition. So it'll just be able to restart all that from scratch, and then it should work. There's also the chance that that hard drive in there could be failing.
Yep, that's a possibility.
Possibility. Do you have like another drive or SSD, preferably, you could just put in there?
Yeah.
And that way you have an SSD if that's what you're using, and it'll make it go a lot faster.
That part's true too, yeah. Okay, sweet. I will try those things. Any other suggestions?
No, that's about all I can think of.
Awesome. Well, thanks for your help. I will let you know how it goes.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, no problem at all.
Awesome. Have a good one.
All right, you too. Thanks.
Cool. Well, okay, so that kind of helps clarify things a little bit. Maybe we just got to nuke the entire disk. I was kind of thinking of doing that anyway. Let me make a Windows backup here first, and then I'll just nuke the whole thing and re-image the installer onto here, and then create a volume for the install destination. So I'm just gonna press some buttons here. Okay, I finished copying all the Windows XP stuff. Now I'm gonna nuke the Mac Mini. Sorry, Mac Mini, nothing personal. But yeah, I don't know, maybe the hard drive, I don't know if the hard drive really is failing. I mean, it is 10 years old, but this computer didn't get like a crap ton of heavy use out of it, but I don't know, maybe we should just put an SSD inside of here. That would actually make for a fun future tech video log. I do have some spare SSDs. Maybe thanks to Duraga. Oh, it must be here! Okay, so that is done there. So it's completely nuked, stuff is backed up. Now let's relaunch the patcher. I forgot, I need to make another volume inside the container for the installer. Derp. So here's the container, add a volume, create bootable, and we'll throw that onto the installer volume there, and start warning, format, yes, and starting helper. It's now patching base system DMG, then it's gonna patch the ESD, copy that over. Hopefully this works. If not, oh boy, this might be a two-parter. We'll put a different drive in here and maybe try with an SSD. You guys want that to happen, don't you? Because then you get more episodes. I see how it is. This is all a scam. You set me up, assholes. Actually, no, that's pretty cool, actually. I'm glad you thought of me. You're helping me, you know, keep my living. 10 stories underground. Alone. Cold. Ding. Already done. It's so much quicker when we're not using USB 2. Ah, nice. Okay. Thank you, Firewire. Throw you over there. And you can go all the way down there. Okay. Power down. Let's boot her up and hope this sucker works. Oh, it's so warm right here. Oh, yeah. I can just lay my arm here. It's a nice arm warmer. Oh, that's nice. I kind of need to see the monitor. I hope you don't mind if I swivel. Oh! Oh! Oh, what? Ladies and gentlemen, I am a patient man. Well, I was. Okay, this is a development. What did I do wrong? I've done this kind of stuff a lot before, but never with APFS on an older system, so that's where all the troubles are coming in. What did I do? It was set to GUID, partition table, yeah. APF. Oh, wait a minute. Ah, shit. I forgot. The installer needs to be formatted as macOS Extended. Okay, MacBook Pro, I need you again. You know that disclaimer that we show at the beginning of these tech video logs that this is not a tutorial, yet you could glean stuff from these videos? Yeah, this is why. A tech video log is very different from a tutorial. You can learn stuff from a tech video log, but a tech video log is still a tech video log. Okay. Gonna throw the Mac Mini back into target dick mode. Let's format the whole thing again. Shit. So let's do this right. 24 gigs, blah, blah. No, that's the name. I'm losing it, guys. I just named it 24. What's the name of your partition? 24. You know what's even funnier than 24? 25. Oh shit. I am losing it. Okay. Don't hire me as an IT guy. Don't. Just don't. Okay. Let's see if we got this right. Installer, 24 gigs. macOS Extended journaled. Catalina, 95 gigs. That should be APFS. Boom, it is. GUID partition map. Apply. This partition will be added. Installer, this partition will be resized. Catalina, partition, just work, please! Hey, check mark, it worked! Shit! Yeah, the installer can't be installed on an APFS partition. That was user error. That was stupid. Hopefully this works. There's lots of hard surfaces underground to bash my head on. Maybe I can use them for such a purpose. You see this rock back here? That stuff is solid. I could bash my head on there, might make it bleed. But first, we're gonna see if this works. And if it works, no bleeding is necessary. Dang, fries are done. Okay, so we're gonna quit. Option key, ready, locked, and loaded. All right. Not all right. Oh, shit. Okay, thank goodness. I was like, it's not showing up. Okay, that's what I wanted to see. It's booting up. Maybe it just needs a massage. You can do it. Also, our demographic is primarily 18 to 35 or 30-year-olds, I believe, if I read the analytics properly, but I may have to double check that. But for those who may be a little younger, this slot right here, this is called an optical drive. So legend has it that solid-state drives, as we know them today, used to be squished into flat little circular discs, I believe they were called, and lasers would bounce off of them to read data, and you would put them into these slots. And the common medium is called a CD, that stands for compact disc, and it only holds, get this, 700 megabytes. Woo! Yeah. So yeah, that's what this is. This thing is for CDs, and there's also a thing called a DVD, which we're not going to get into today. But yes, that is an optical drive. There you go. Times were tough back then. Okay, I was stalling. Was that enough? Still going. Progress bar is not moving, but the hard drive is making sounds, so that gives me confidence. You scare me when you don't make sounds. You gotta make sounds so I know you're alive. Okay, internal drive, Catalina. Install. And we'll let it go. So this part will take a little bit, and then it should reboot. Scroll through all the text thingamajigs, which is part of dosdude's APFS implementation, and then boot up into the second part of the installer. That is where the hang was. So hopefully it doesn't hang there anymore. If it succeeds, that bar should move. We should get a black mode screen. At least I think it turns into dark mode, and then it should continue installing. For the love of Steve Jobs, it should just work, and we should all be one big happy family. 11 minutes remaining. Okay, I'll see you soon. Okay, we are going into the second phase where we're now booting into the installer. This is where we always got stuck. This is the 5th attempt, I think. Let's see if this works. It's not making any noise right now. And while that's going, I mean, I'm just thinking about, you know, Colin suggested the drive might be bad, and I know I talked about this a bit earlier. And yeah, I guess that is possible, but Snow Leopard was working just fine on here. Yeah, that could have been in a spot where the bad sectors weren't, but I don't know. I just find Windows XP was working too, so I find it unlikely that's the situation. Yeah, it's not making any sound. Gosh darn it. I don't know. I mean, I asked around, I talked to Colin, I talked to some of the MacYak guys. Heck, I even asked some of the people in my Computer Clan Discord server. All of you guys had great suggestions. I don't know why this is still not working. Okay, well, let's see if we can get this into verbose mode and maybe see where it's getting stuck. There we go. This is the verbose mode I wanted. Let's see where it's getting stuck. Well, nothing is scrolling, so let me just take a quick peeky poo at this. Okay, so the last line it is showing is HID Legacy Shim 2. Frick, I have no idea what that means. Mount root, oh, HFS mount root failed. Well, we're not working with HFS though, right? So, do we need that? Returned error 13. There's a lot of like error 13s here. Buff meta bread. I guess it needs some meta bread. Volume Catalina rolls 0, not a system or data volume. I don't know, take a look at that. See if you can diagnose it. Well, this was fun, but I am officially stuck. I would love to revisit this if anyone can think of a solution, so I'm calling out to everybody now. Help me out. I am stuck. For shits and giggles, you want to try it? Should we try installing it on here and booting off of this on this? Just to maybe narrow it down? Okay. Okay, you win. Let's try that. So let's shut her down. Okay, so I set up and formatted this Apricorn disk with APFS. Again, not really recommended for a mechanical disk. All right, so we should see Colin's thing go through. Woo! There it goes, and then... There we go. Let's see what happens. Same thing, Legacy Shim 2. It's the last line it always spits out, and then it just freezes right there. And we tried a completely different hard drive this time. So, at least I'm assuming it booted to the hard drive. Let's double check that. Go to the boot picker. Aw, hell, it's not even detecting this. What? I installed it to here. Yeah, it's not even detecting that. So it was booting into the internal disk, it looks like, even though I did install the files to this hard drive. But yeah, it's not coming up as being bootable. So I guess that test didn't go anywhere. Well, hate to say this, but I'm calling it. Again, if you have any suggestions on how to assist, please do let me know. Let's keep the hope hot. Let's keep the hopes high. Thank you, Colin, aka dosdude, for making this patcher, because I know it works for a lot of people, and thanks for helping me on this episode. Thank you also, Greg, and other people at MacYak, and other people in the Computer Clan Discord server. You're all great. Hopefully we can get some help and figure this thing out. But in the meantime, catch the crazy and pass it on.